welcome to yet another episode of the Penance Halloween Special 2020. This time with two folk you might know and one person you don't. So starting from the bottom, who are you, where do people know you from, and who are you playing tonight? Starting with Lenida.
Well, hello, it's Lenida here. You might know me from Plummet and other shenanigans. Tonight I'm playing Sir von Mac, which is a male dwarf fighter. A bit heavy on the brawn side and a little less heavy on the brain side, so to speak.
Alright. Next we have AJ.
Hey, it's AJ. You might know me from being the host of Pretending with Dice and also from Curse of Penance and Plummet on here and previous Halloween things on here. Today I'm going to be playing Mr. Wizzo, who's a human magician who doesn't know how he got here.
When you say he doesn't know how he got here, is he like from modern times or is he?
Yeah. Well, not quite. Late 90s.
Right, okay. And finally, we have new blood, we have Mikey.
Hi, I'm Mike, or Mikey. I am from the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. You can find us at www.thefellowshipofthegeeks.net, where we talk about comics and geeky stuff all the time. And I am playing Tor Swiftaxe, a dwarven wizard who is taking the long way home, so to speak.
Fantastic. So that is the cast. Let us begin. So, as usual for Halloween specials, you have all responded to an application looking for some sort of muscle, effectively to do a job, and you turn up at this inn, and you're immediately gestured to this small back room, and as you're sitting around the back room, you notice a very slender, skinny-looking man in quite large, thick spectacles walk in, nervously close the door behind him, check the window is locked before making his way towards the table. He sets his piles of books down on the table and goes, Hi, you're the people that replied to my work, yes?
Yes, but normally there's more children. Well, I'm assuming this is a regular booking. I mean, I've got a fee list here, but I mean, I've never performed for an adult before.
What's a fee?
Oh, it's just a standard pricing, for entertainment.
The things you get when you do stuff.
Yeah, exactly that. Yes.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Karen just looks at you, just terrified, and goes, I think you might have the wrong room, but would you be interested in doing this work anyway?
Well, that depends what it is. I mean, let me break it down for you. I normally charge $35.99 for a 20-minute show, plus birthday cake.
I like money.
What is this? What is this 99 business? Do you mean 3,000 gold?
Oh no, everybody seems to be talking in gold. I mean, no, has everybody forgotten pounds and pence? This is a very strange place.
You paid in pounds? But pounds of what?
Pounds of flesh, perhaps?
Flesh? I don't have
know.
Pounds of flesh.
Perhaps we should start again. Let's assume for the moment that we are interested in the job you posted. Tell us more about it, please.
Well, he just looks at Mr. Whistle quite confused.
Yeah, Mr. Wizard's looking back pretty confused as well.
Well, I need a group of people to travel to a small village and retrieve some things for me.
Is there any bashing of heads involved?
Not as such, but they might be needed to bring the cargo back.
Oh, so you need someone who's strong then?
Well, if you are good at looking after animals, yes, that's a good way of wording it. Yes, looking after animals and bringing back
I'm
a potentially
really good with
strong-willed
animals.
animal back to me.
I'm very good at looking after animals, and I pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Oh, good.
It's not a horse, is it?
Well, no, it's a rabbit.
No, the animal we're supposed to bring back from this village.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Very fun. That's not a magical creature, is it?
this one. Oh no, the magic is in me and in your imagination. And I wiggle my fingers at him in a way that really goes over well with the 7-year-olds.
Well, as a magic man who's used to creatures, what do you know about Arachidian?
What?
He fishes through his pockets and then hands you a scrap of paper with this name written on it.
Sir is just looking quizzically like lost in space.
I mean, you're used to magical animals, right? You understand them. You know how to look after them, right?
I mean, Mr. Wizard's looking a little bit distressed this point. He sort of leans and goes, Mate, the magic's not real. The rabbit's just in like a little compartment in the hat.
So you go around with a rabbit in your hat at all times?
Oh, you never know.
How do you feed it? How does it get air?
Oh, he's got a little bit of water in there. He's got a little... Look, it's all above board. Trust me.
I see. But how much do you know about these creatures?
Well, I gotta be honest, I've not heard of one of these. It's like a dog breed, is it?
They're highly magical. They're, Look. Oh god, I suppose I should give you the full story. About 2 weeks ago, I got insanely drunk at the office gathering. And during this meeting in a small bar, a gentleman approached me and offered to sell me a pair of these. Now, being rather intoxicated as I was, I agreed wholeheartedly. Unfortunately, in order to pay him, he managed to convince me to, he looks around quite nervously, take some money from my work.
Oof. Hand in the petty cash. Can't be doing that.
Yes, but I'm the treasurer of the accountancy guild. I can't afford this money to be seen by anyone. So the next morning, racked with guilt and only finding this receipt in my pocket, I went to see him and he told me that only once the creatures had arrived, he would take them back and return my money. Unfortunately, on the way here, the creatures kind of, well, the cart they were traveling on kind of fell off a cliff.
Bad luck there.
So, although the cart was found and the driver was taken to a nearby village to look after it, they didn't find anything other than the driver.
Oh, a disappearing act.
Oh, poor animals.
If that's what you want to call it, yes. They've just sent me a letter about 2-3 days ago saying that the driver is recovering in this small village called Luchgobar. It's a village on the edge of the mountains. I need you to go and fetch these creatures because, well, to put it lightly, if a pair of these broke out into the wild, it might not be the best for everyone.
Oh, well.
Why?
They're slightly carnivoric.
Oh, what's a carnivoric?
They like very fresh meat.
Oh, like me then.
Yeah.
I like fresh meat as well.
My cousin Susan fed her dogs fresh meat.
She was fed to dogs?
No. Raw food diet. Much more nutritious for growing puppies, apparently. She's a bit of a wizard herself when it comes to that kind of thing.
Well, I hope you have her expertise at hand.
Well, I can give her a... Oh, no, I haven't seen her phone recently. Well, I'm sure I'll hopefully remember some of what she was talking about. Yes.
Approximately how large are these creatures?
Well, when they're young, they're about the size of rabbits. But as they mature, they, it's really funny you ask. They learn the ability to polymorph.
Oh boy. And how close to maturity are these particular specimens?
I don't know. I just know that, according to this receipt I have here, that they are apparently a breeding pair.
Well, good thing you held onto your receipt. Had a hell of a trouble taking back a stereo to Comet once.
You travelled to a comet?
Yeah, right next to home base.
You have a comet near your home base?
Well, not anymore. No, they're closed down. But yeah, home base is still there.
He's just looking at Wizzo, just like, what the hell are you? You must be a really mighty magician.
Oh, I do all right. Yeah.
Are we going to go get the animal soon? I'm getting hungry.
There's a cart that leaves tomorrow morning. I'll happily pay for your travel there. Just please don't tell anyone that I'm hiring you, and please just bring these creatures back to me.
What was your name again, mate?
I'm Kelvin.
Kelvin.
They don't necessarily need to be alive. I'd prefer it, but if you just catch them, don't...
Well, we don't want the RSPCA on our backs.
The what?
Oh, well, you know, the animal rights folks. All that.
The Royal Society of Practicing Conjurings and Alchemy? You're a member of this group?
Oh, like, give £5 a month.
Do you donate money?
Yeah, direct debit.
The Society of Conjurers and Alchemists?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what it stands for, but...
Well,
I know that's
what else would PCA stand for?
I've never been great at acronyms, so your guess is as good as mine. At this, I kind of reach forward and I pull a penny out from behind his ear and go, see? This is my trick.
Whoa! He takes the penny off you and says, What is this? It's got some strange markings on it. There's a face on one side.
Oh yeah, that's her Madge.
Oh, what?
The Queen. Where are we? You don't know what a penny is.
We don't have a queen.
You're losing it, mate.
He just keeps looking at Wizzo with somewhere between amazement and utter terror.
Wizzo's a bit disturbed as well, but he's sort of, you know, there's certain immovable things in his brain that of course there's a queen, you know. So this guy must be the one who's mistaken, you know. Of course there's a queen. Of course there's an RSPCA. Of course there's direct debit.
Okay.
Still a bit disturbed though.
Do either of you two chaps have any particular nature skills?
Well, I like animals, and I'm quite good at handling animals, and I like the nature as well. So I'm quite efficient for that, sort of, yeah.
Yes, I don't mind going to the garden centre on a weekend. I got a few potted plants at home. If you're asking out of character, I have a +1 in nature.
Yeah, I got 3 in nature.
I'm asking because I got nothing. So
Okay.
And 3 in animal handling as well, so.
wow, nice. Okay, I think we'll take the job.
Marvelous, right. Well, is there anything else you need?
Have you got any cake?
Food. I'm hungry now.
I'll speak to the barman and have him bring you food.
Thank
Any
you.
party rings? Must have been partial to those.
Party rings? Is this some sort of magical jewellery?
They're like a biscuit, you know, they've got sort of colourful icing on them and, yeah, pretty Moorish.
You're very strange.
Well, I mean, a lot of people question the choice of becoming a magician. Yeah, especially my dad.
Magician is a wonderful art.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's what I thought, you know. Making people happy, earning a few quid on the side. No, my
Make
dad
money
wants
on
me
the
to be an
side?
accountant. Boring.
He sort of looks at you like he doesn't understand, and he begins to back away and goes, Yes, well, the cart leaves tomorrow. I'll speak for some food. Oh, goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Why? Yes, this is all a bit strange, gents.
Well, yes.
I was expecting my normal normal clientele, you know. A lot of screaming and candles and birthday cake and whatever. This is quite different.
Oh, so
Cake.
birthday cake, yeah.
Yes, yeah. You know, I normally do my act and then there's a lot of singing and cake and candles being blown out and everyone has a great time.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, it's okay. Pays the bills.
Who's Bill? Is
well,
there
I've got
more of them than one?
I mean, technically, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember hearing a really interesting story about a guy named Bill about a year ago, but we can talk about that later.
I'd really like to hear it.
I'd really like to hear more about the types of magic that you use, but it seems like we have plenty of time to talk about these.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come up. Yes.
So, food is brought in, you fill yourself up with random food that's offered, and then the next morning you all turn up for this cart and leave to go to this very strange little town.
No party rings, I take it, in the food.
No, when you ask for such things, you are brought a very cheap-looking ring made of what seems to be some sort of bronze mix. Looks a bit rusted.
That's not quite what I had in mind. I've just realised that this might be an England-only thing, and I've been making jokes.
No, I know what party rings are.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, just
Yeah, I don't. So, but I'm guessing it's something you have in modern day society. So
Yeah.
I guess it probably won't be present in the storyline. So,
yeah. I've dropped a picture into the chat, so
I've
you
not had party rings in years.
Oh my god.
That looks delightful.
Right, so
Anyway,
you make your travel, and as the early evening begins to come in, you arrive at this small village at the foot of a massive mountain pass. As you arrive, you notice that there are several buildings. There is the town hall, which looks like a converted barn. It's being converted to a schoolhouse and then back to a town hall. You can tell us by the fact that the sign has changed with just the word before being scrolled out and then something written above it. The next building is the inn, which is quite a large, sort of half-barrel shaped building. Looks relatively warm and cosy considering how inns go. Next you have the town square, which has, it looks like a massive fountain with 3 dogs standing on top of it. Next to it are several stalls, including, looks like a blacksmith stall, a caravan style stall, a stall with flowers on it, and a stables. Then you have a half height wall around the house, which has a very overgrown garden, but the house itself looks occupied. And finally you have the road leading off to the forest.
just so we're clear, the fountain, the 3 dogs are statues, right? Sorry, I wasn't sure if I'd misheard or not.
There are 3 dog statues on top of this fountain.
Okay, my brain interpreted as there's a fountain with 3 dogs on it. I thought, okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, my brain kind of went the same direction.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped myself.
As you pull into the stables, a youngish boy jumps out of the stables effectively and takes the horses. So you choose where you'd like to go. Your choices are the town hall, which you can see that there's a couple of figures inside. There is the inn, which looks, as I said, relatively cosy, and there's the market square you're in now, where people are beginning to start packing up for the end of the day. What would you like to do?
I think I would tend towards the inn. I imagine since it's evening, that's where people are going to be. People who know where this guy we're looking for is. Possibly the guy himself.
Makes sense. Good drink after all this time on the road.
And some food.
Absolutely.
You guys seems to be smart kind of guys. So I'll just follow you along and such.
Alright. So you head off in towards the inn. You notice at this point as you enter that most of the population here seem to be dwarves. And as you enter the inn, you see a relatively youngish looking dwarf standing on top of the box behind the bar. It looks like the bar itself was built for, humans and taller. As well as this barman, you see a lanky looking man standing by the fire. It seems to be tightening up a lute.
Nice. Entertainment.
Does the guy by the fire look like he's about to start playing, or is it sort of... Is there any convenient tables to watch from?
There's tables to watch from and stuff, yes. He just seems to be sitting by the fire, fixing his lute.
I sort of give the other 2 a nod and go, I'll get us some seats, and
yeah.
grab the most prominent table that I can get. Mr. Wizzo likes a bit of live music.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
That'll give Sir and I a chance to go order some food and
some
find
and some
answers.
drinks.
Absolutely. So I'm going to head over towards the bar.
Yeah, sir is just following along. Mr. Wisso, what do you want to eat?
Oh, well, yeah, the local special, I suppose. Don't know what a place like this would serve, sir. It's not a...
Alright, I'll fix that.
Good choice.
Yeah. Just looking around in case it's like one of those slightly fancier, done-up kind of chain restaurants or anything, but I can't see any convenient menus or anything, I'm assuming.
No.
No. So,
As,
as
you walk up to the bar, the dwarf immediately reacts quite favourably to you all arriving and goes, "Oh, right, hang on a minute, I'll just get the..." And jumps down, he runs around behind the bar looking like he's getting stuff together, then jumps back in the box and says, "Right, hello there, right, what can I get you?"
2 specials, and 2 mugs of beer, please.
I'll hold up 3 fingers.
"Right, okay, specials, right, okay, no problem, 1 second." He jumps down, he runs off to the kitchen behind him. Comes back a few minutes later bringing a bowl of something rather strange looking, and he sets it down on the table in front of you all. Goes, "There you go, it's what Ethel made this morning, I don't really know what it is. Apparently it's nice, I've not eaten it, there you go, hey." And he rushes off, and then a couple of minutes later rushes back with the beers and puts them on the table.
Oh, thank you.
When you have a moment, I have something I need to ask you about.
"Oh, brilliant, right, alright, what can I do for you?"
Several days ago, a chap came in here having been in a crash, having fallen off a cliff with a cart.
"Oh, right, you mean the one Maud's looking after, the sort of big fella that fell off the cliff?"
Yes.
"Oh, right, well, he's in Maud's hut."
Where can we find that?
"Oh, she's the one outside that won't let us cut her garden."
Okay, thank you very much.
So he sort of nods and rushes around. "Anything you want, just message me. I'll sort it for you. My name's Reese. Hi." And he sort of just again rushes around like he's quite hyper.
Cool. I don't imagine it's early enough that we could go rousting this mod person, so it seems like the best course of action would be to enjoy the evening.
I'd like that. Seems like a good proposition. Maybe there will be some music soon.
Yeah, at this time, Mr. Wizard's been kind of almost sort of looking expectantly at the guy who's tuning his lute.
Let's see, does the man tuning his lute notice you staring at him? He does. He looks at you and goes, "Reese, am I allowed to play for them?" "No, you're not allowed to play for them. Not after last time. That poor bastard nearly hung himself." "Oh, right. Hello?"
Oh, yeah, hello.
"I can't
Hello.
sing, but hello?"
What is it? Not allowed to play? Was that a bit disappointing?
"Well, the last time I sang for anyone, apparently it made him quite sad. He didn't like my song. I wrote it about a girl I used to know, about how she had really nice eyes. Or when she rejected me, it felt like my body was rotten."
Oh, we've all been there, friend.
Well, just sing us something happy then.
"Well, that was happy, was it not?" And at this point, you hear a very angry voice going, "You're not singing in me bar. Not again."
Oh, do you know any instrumentals, maybe?
"What's that?"
Oh, it's where you just play and don't sing. Yeah.
"Well, that's an idea. Never thought of that. Can I just play and not sing?" The barman sort of narrows his eyes at him and go, "If you utter one word, or either of those people start standing up putting nooses round their necks, I'll never let you in me bar again." So
Do you know Sweet Caroline?
Who?
Oh, well, I'll take that as a no then.
I knew a Caroline back in Wizard College. She was pretty sweet.
Ooh.
Don't remember a song
What's this
her.
about a Caroline? Maybe I can write a new song. Hang on a minute.
Was
Rushes
she a
off and he
friend
comes
of
back a minute
Bill?
later with a scrap of paper and a quill. "Right, tell me about her. I'll write a song."
Let me just try and recollect some things. I don't know where it began. Well, it's just that's about a sweet young girl and, sort of falling
right,
in love
right.
and it's all kind of, it sort of writes itself, really.
Sweet young girl writes itself, right. So her stare is like daggers. Her hair was like spun rope. Are you encouraging him to write these terrible songs in my inn?
Well, not a terrible one. I mean, just
You don't know the hardship of having to cut people down when they try and hang himself after this bastard sang at them.
Oh, no, I don't.
Writing's not that bad. Aye, it is. Stop it.
Well, maybe just try the instrumental thing then, and we can hum along or something.
Alright. So he just stands there, like, strumming randomly, looking at you really confused, like giving you a sort of like, "Is this work?" look in his face.
Yeah, I imagine Sir is just humming along a bit and just wagging from side to side. Not in the rhythm of the music, of course, but in some sort of rhythm, which is definitely offbeat.
Doesn't sound half bad. Keep going.
Yes. Good job.
Does it not get a bit repetitive after a while?
About to try throwing in a key change here and there.
A what?
Well, just how you're doing that. Passing with your fingers, try moving it a little bit further up the neck every once in a while.
You mean actually move me hand?
Well, yeah, couldn't hurt. Well, it could, but you do it too quickly. The strings look a little rusty.
He changes where his hand is and then almost drops the lute as the note changes. And he goes, I didn't realise it did that.
Congratulations, Mr. Wizzo. You just gave this young guy his first lesson in music.
Yes, I did up to grade 7 on the old classical guitar back when I was at school. Had to give it up, though. I did 5-6 years.
Wow,
So
that's quite
you're
a lot.
telling me that this thing does different notes?
Oh, lots of them.
He's just looking at it on the floor like he doesn't want to touch it anymore.
He tuned it, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was tuning it when we came
Yeah,
in.
he did, yes.
Well, why? We can tune it, make sure the chords are tight, but, I'm going to make different noises.
Right. You can also control them to make different sounds.
Just looking at you, really confused, and that's when the barman goes, oh, don't tell him that. Now we'll start getting different songs. Well, no, the same song with more loot. Last thing we need is more bloody loot.
Can't be worse than the singing you were talking about, right?
Yeah, especially if people try to kill themselves.
Are we the only people in this place?
that.
Are there other patrons in the place? Has he horrified them yet?
Well, there's no one in at the moment. I mean, Jack should be in shortly.
Jack's not one of the guys you had to cut down the other night, right?
Well, no, but Jack's let's put it nicely, Jack's a simple sort. Or he has been ever since, the head trauma.
What head trauma?
Well, this is what Maud says. I don't know if it's true or not. That, we're not meant to hit Jack in the head anymore.
Oh,
Any?
that can go bad.
Was that the whole story? Seemed like you were building up to something there.
Well,
Not everyone's in that
Jack was instrumental in us celebrating the great chase out, effectively, of us getting rid of them rats. So when we decided that one of us was going to dress up in a costume and run around the city, take a bit of whacking from the children, that Jack was the best person for it. And then Maud came to the middle of the village and told us that we weren't allowed to hit him with sticks anymore.
Yes, children do like to whack sometimes, don't they?
Oh, maybe you can do that next time, Mr. Wizzo. You like being with children around, I heard.
Well, no, I like getting paid, but not that great to leave me alone with children. It's
Oh, okay.
they got weird tiny hands. It freaks me out.
Well, I'm getting a bit sleepy now. I think I'm gonna turn in for the night. And maybe we can see this Maud person in the morning.
What time is it?
It's like 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, all right.
I'm an early bird, and I'm a little out traveling today, so I'll turn in. Have a nice sleep, gents.
Oh yes,
I'll see you in the morning.
Alright, so as Mac goes off to speak to the barman about getting a room, it's up to you if you want to stay here for the nighttime slot. So the nighttime slot would be either to stay here or go to Maud's hut. What do you want to do?
Well, I feel like we should. I mean, if you're game for getting a bit of a head start, we could always go talk to this Maud, find out about this coach driver from him, what happened.
We can surely try. I mean, if nothing else, that would give us a chance to get started early on our search tomorrow. So,
Definitely.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Yes. Finish my drink and turn to the lute player and say, oh, well, keep at it. Try out some of those different places. Try stringing some of those notes together.
Right,
Maybe don't write anything so depressing.
Yeah, stick to the instrumentals at least
Well,
for now.
I
At
wrote
least
this
until
one
Reese
about a
gets
girl that was drowning that I met once in a summer day.
This is obviously a very interesting neighborhood.
Yes, some people like the depressing songs a little bit like that, I suppose. Not my cup of tea. More of a top 40 man.
You have a way with numbers, sir.
Well, like a good bit of algebra as much as the next man. Yes. Comes in handy with counting out cards.
Not sure I want to play cards with you, but okay.
All right.
Oh, no, I don't. I don't cheat in games. I mean, it's the tricks, you see, part and parcel of a magician's bag of skills.
Mm-hmm.
As we're walking over, I just want to top up my rabbit's feed and water.
Are you just taking off your hat and just pouring water and food into it?
No, there's like... Okay, yeah, no, I didn't really think this through, but I feel like there's a little compartment in the top kind of thing, so I can just kind of wear it as a hat, and then there's like a little rabbit compartment, but like, I haven't really established how big the hat is, and I don't really want to.
Should be a big hat then, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, logically, the hat would have to get bigger and bigger. Let's just say it's not the size you think it is. But yes, I top up my rabbit food and water, and the rabbit's quite happy.
I mean, is it big enough for the
Of course
rabbit
it
to move
is.
around?
Well, nah, he's pretty chill.
Not a very active rabbit, apparently.
Yeah, no. He's part of the act. He's a professional, He knows not to give the game away.
He's under contract, after all.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Please ignore the 0 in animal handling on my character sheet.
I'm not sure we can at this point.
All right. So you head to Maud's hut. So you head out of the inn and you walk along towards this very overgrown garden, which is basically full of weeds, almost as tall as your dwarven companion in height. As you walk to the door, are you going to knock? What are you going to do?
Quick interjection here. I'm following them right there, even though I said I was going to bed, right? Because we all have to be in the same place at the same time, right? Yeah. So they sort of just convinced me to not go to
They
bed.
came back and went, "We're going to go and see this woman. Do you want to come?" And you went, "Fine."
Yep, good.
I would think, yes, we should knock.
Alright, so you walk up to the door and you knock. About 10 seconds after you knock, you hear a "what?" from inside.
Hello. Yes, we're looking for is it Maud, was it?
The door opens and you see a quite tall, slender-looking human female with quite long black hair. She goes, "Yes. What do you want?"
Oh, good evening, madam. My name is Mr. Wizzo. You can call me Brian. And we're here looking for a gentleman who was in a coach crash. We have been reliably informed that he is here.
He is, and what business is it of yours?
We have been sent to track something that was lost in that crash, and we were hoping he could help us by pointing out where the crash took place and such.
Well, the crash was in the forest. I suppose you could come in and speak to him, but he won't make much sense.
But that's okay, I'm getting used to that over the last couple of days. It's no problem.
So she sort of gestures you all in. As you go in, you see the inside is completely immaculate. And off to one side seems to be a sick bed where there's a man covered with a blanket. It seems to be shaking.
Ah, there's the fellow.
That's him over
Right
there,
here.
yes.
Good, right. Well, thank you. We'll try not to be too much of a disturbance. I feel like I'm all over the place with this voice.
The voice, yes.
No, the character's 100% consistent. The voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got the mannerisms down. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really paying attention. That's what I'm hearing, not the voice. So.
Like, I feel like I'm occasionally dipping into like a slightly more kind of like higher kind of posh sort of voice than I'm supposed to.
Oh, see, I thought that was intentional.
Yeah, no, nothing's intentional. I guess. Yeah, sorry. That's that aside. I guess we approach the bed.
So you approach the bed. The man is fevered and shaking. And he looks quite flushed. What are you going to do?
What happened to the animals, mister?
Straight out with it.
Let's see, does he respond? He just starts muttering to himself, and occasionally you hear words like, They leapt at me, so fluffy!
Well, better not show my rabbit.
No, definitely not.
Well, what can you remember about the accident?
He just keeps gibbering, and at this point Maud walks over and goes, "He don't remember much. He remembers being in control, and then he remembers looking back because something behind got him in the neck here," and she gestures and points to his neck, and he's got these 3 or 4 like obvious bite marks on the side of his neck.
Ooh, that looks
As he
pretty
was
nasty.
dealing with them, the horses charged off the edge of the cliff.
Yes. Never did get on well with horses myself.
Well, you know, when you drop a horse for about 20 meters up, it does have a habit of breaking.
Yes.
I like horses.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure if you could point us in the right direction, we might be able to find it ourselves. But I mean, was he in this state when he was brought to you, or have you been caring for him? How long has he been like this?
He was in this state when Daddy found him.
Who's your daddy?
What does
do
he
you mean,
do?
Who's my daddy? Daddy.
Well, you
you
said
know,
daddy
the goat farmer.
found him.
Daddy.
And Sir's brain is just shutting down now.
Your father found him? I mean,
No.
we're kind of going into this a little blind. We haven't
Daddy
got a
is
lot
the
of
goat
information.
father.
Maud, thank you very much for allowing us to disturb you this late in the evening. Come on, gents, we need to go. We need to leave this nice lady in peace.
Oh yes, no, you're right. It is getting on a little bit.
Yeah, a bit.
As I turn away from the bed, I wave my hand and pull a small bunch of flowers out of my sleeve and leave them by the bed and say, "I hope you feel better."
As you do
I
that,
don't like the looks of that one.
Maud picks them up and goes, "Do you know how much bugs these cause? Can't have this. You're as bad as those bloody villagers."
Oh no, they're just made of paper. Oh,
What? What do you mean
Is
they're
it
made
just
of paper?
well, it's coloured paper folded and. Well, all right, I'll take them back. Take forever to reload these things.
Yeah, if that was our first battle, gentlemen, we just lost. But anyway,
All right.
if nothing else, we can attempt to track down a goat herder named Daddy in the morning.
All right.
Yes.
You go back to the inn and you get yourself some rooms and you have a couple hours sleep. Next morning you wake up. Your choices are the town hall, the town square market area, and the forest.
I feel like we should either find this goat herder or just go check out the crash site. Be good to have a bit of information. Preparation is the key for every good magician, and presumably every good animal tracker.
I like goats.
Yes.
Awesome. Excellent. So I think the town market is probably going to be the best chance we have at finding a goat herder, or at least getting pointed in the right direction.
Yes. Sounds like a solid plan. Maybe I can pick up some more muesli. Not muesli. Pick up some more food and hay for my good friend, Mr. Hopkins.
So where are you going to go?
The market, I think. I will not remember that rabbit's name.
So you called the rabbit Mr. Hopkins.
Yep.
Yeah. Brian and Mr. Hopkins.
Yeah, I'm Brian.
Brian Wizzo.
No, my stage name's Mr. Wizzo. My name's Brian. Brian Crandall.
Brian Crandall.
I go by Mr. Wizzo. Sounds magician-ish.
Right. Okay.
This is all going to be really relevant to the plot, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So you go to the town square, and
Yes,
as you
the
walk
market
into the
square.
town square itself, you see the blacksmith stall. You notice the stables hasn't opened yet. It seems to be still closed over. The stall with all the flowers on it, most of the flowers seem like they're dying, and the sort of caravan with the shop outside, it seems to have a rather shady looking individual sitting inside the caravan watching outwards. You also notice at this stage that there are now 2 dogs on top of the waterfall.
Wasn't there 3 dogs on the watery thingy yesterday?
Maybe.
I thought there were.
Yes, maybe somebody came along and tore one of the statues down in the night.
Weird.
Very.
Sure, that's not ominous at all. But the state of these flowers is a little bit sad, isn't it? They never last long once you pick them. That's why I got these paper ones.
Oh, what's paper?
Well, I think it's made from tree pulp, and I think they. I'm not entirely sure,
Oh,
but it's about £1.20 a roll down at Woolworths.
oh, sounds fancy.
Oh, not really. They do a good pick and mix, though.
Oh, okay. I'm a bit crafty. Sometimes I like blacksmithing and stuff, and maybe we should go see the blacksmith guy over there.
That's actually a really good idea.
So you walk up to the blacksmith stall, and he goes, "Hello there. You here for the
Hello.
whacking festival?"
Whacking festival?
Oh, I, brought your kids and You know, we'll give him these hammers, and he gestures down the front where there's these quite child-sized mallets that look really fucking vicious but made of wood. He goes, made them myself. You know, they're the best thing for whacking that rat.
Oh, can I see one of those?
Of course you can. Now, we can only sell them to children because, you know, as the town hall have said, we can't have adults beating up Jack anymore. So, you know, if it's for your son, that's fine. And he offered you one of these mallets.
Oh, well, I'm just, looking at the fine craftsmanship of this, it just warms my heart. It's a really nice piece of work.
Well, that's nice then. It's good to hear some good response from me hammerers.
So, know of any people that tend goats around here?
What, are you after Daddy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was his name.
Alright, well, he'll be out tending his goats in the forest at the moment. But, you know, if you wait around, I'm sure he'll come by soon enough. I mean, he might be in the town hall later today. I mean, it depends if him and Aris have got any business.
Yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense, I'd say, turning to the others. Maud said that Daddy found the crash. Of course, it would make sense that if the crash happened in the forest, then Daddy would be in the forest. Should we just call him the goat herder? It's very strange calling him Daddy.
If you say so, yeah.
What's wrong with Daddy? It's a very oppressive name.
I think it's causing a little bit of confusion in my mind.
Well, you call your rabbit Mr. Hopkins, so that is much more confusing to me.
Yes, I think it's just where I'm from. Daddy's a bit of it's what you call your father, and I think
Well, all right.
Well, no, feel free to call him Daddy if you want. I'm just registering my discomfort.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever you fancy, I don't mind.
You haven't seen small boy running around, have you? You might have seen him last... I noticed you getting here last night. You haven't seen him, have you? Small, sort of bowl haircut, waistcoat, you know, sort of brownish clothing. Usually out in the stables. He's just not been here this morning. Seems a bit weird.
I don't associate with children unless I'm being paid to.
We are actually only...
Well, you don't want to know what you do for paid money, but let's not get into that.
Illusions, my friend.
I see.
There was someone taking care of our horses yesterday, but I can't remember what it looked like.
It's really weird, you know, because not only has Luther disappeared, you know, the wee boy that runs the stables, but also Emmeline's gone missing, you know, the girl that ran the flower stall. She's not been here for a few days. It's getting a bit weird here. Just me and Grunnins.
Possibly unrelated.
I hope so.
How does your fountain work?
Well, you know, there's a wee thing underneath it that makes it nice and sparkle. But you know, that fountain's been there to represent Whacking Day.
Is that why one of the dogs on top is missing?
What do you mean one of the dogs on top is missing? They're both there.
There was 3 dogs yesterday.
No, you must be mistaken. There's no way there'd be 3 dogs up there. They only represent 2. I think it was Caesar and Antonio, if I remember right. They're the 2 dogs we remember every year at Whacking Day for, you know, killing all them rats.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like I did see 3, but no, you would know better than us, living here and that.
I mean, there wouldn't be 3 up there, would there? I mean, not unless they found another dog that was really useful.
Yes.
Very useful. Yeah, so these 2 children who are missing, do they live near each other, or are they on opposite sides of the town, or how's that work?
Well, Luther lives the other side of the forest. He walks through every morning. And I don't know where Emmeline lives, if I'm honest. I think she's got a hut just along there near the town hall, but she likes to go in the forest to pick flowers every morning.
A lot of things pointing us towards the forest here, gents.
We may be going to the forest very soon.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on a minute, I'll ask Grunnins. Grunnins! And this shadowy figure leans forward and goes, "What do you want?" Have you seen Emmeline or Luther this morning? No. Alright, thank you. Well, he's not seen him either.
Well, that's pretty conclusive. Yes. Well, like I said, it looks like all signs point to the woods.
Indeed. Thank you, Kind Smith, for the information. We would be happy to purchase hammers, and we will do so the moment we have children.
Well, I'd like to buy a hammer. Maybe I could give it to a child somewhere if I meet them.
Alright, as long as you don't go swaying for Jack with it. You know, we're not
I promise. Cross my heart.
Something about Jack needing, you know, his brain or something or other. I don't know.
Yeah, we heard something about that yesterday.
Well, there
I
you
don't
go,
know what a
then.
brain is good for.
He hands
the
you one of the
rule.
hammers and takes a couple of coins off you.
No beating up Jack on whacking day.
That would be tragic.
Yes.
So, should we call this a toy hammer or something like that, or is it a...
Yeah, toy hammer's fine. Well, it basically looks like quite a vicious wooden hammer, but yeah, it's probably a toy hammer for all the sake it goes.
Yeah. Mr. Wizzo's getting flashbacks to being hit in the head by uncooperative audiences during several birthday parties.
Fair enough. Are you wanting to look around anything else in this area, or do you want to just go straight to the forest for next?
Maybe while we're here, take a look at the Shady Guy's stall, just so we
Yeah,
had a
exactly.
bit of a look.
Alright. So you walk over to the other stall. It seems to be like sort of powders and potions and sort of alchemical stuff, and you hear a voice sort of lean forward going, "Let me know if there's anything you need."
Have you got any dry ice?
Somewhat.
You know, you put it in a bucket and it makes it look like smoke is coming.
Oh, smoke powder, yes. Got loads of that.
Well,
Sort of rustling, and then a dark bluishy purple hand just comes out with a small cloth bag, and he goes, "Here you go, just put it in water and it'll make all the smoke you need."
there we go. Yes, that's exactly what I need. Thank you.
Right, that'll be... He takes a couple, he offers to take a couple of gold off you. Do you have anything on you, or...?
I've got a £10 note.
You offer it to him, he sort of goes, "What is this?" He brings it, and you see him looking at it and flipping it over in the sort of shadows, and he goes, I'm not familiar with this place. Where is it?"
I think it's called Bill.
"Bill, you say? I see. And do they always use such strange funding?"
I think
Well, it's going out a bit now that, you know, people are getting more used to doing contactless, but always carry a couple around with me.
Contactless?
Yes, you just kind of tap your card on a reader and if you not got that here yet, I know they're a bit slow on rolling it out.
It's
What do you mean by card?
I pull out my fairly battered looking NatWest Bank card. You see here, you got the little chip and you tap it on the reader. You haven't got a reader to me to show you. It's, yeah.
What is this? I've not seen anything like this before.
Well,
Hi.
Don't worry about it. It's from a posh place. It's gonna be worth a
Little
lot.
symbol here. And he points to the sort of chip and pin thing. He goes, "I see it's a old magi symbol.
really? What does it mean?
It means sightless."
I suppose that sort of tracks. I don't need to put my pin in if I do the contactless, so sort of without sight, I suppose. Yes, well, that all tracks. I put it back in my wallet.
This is very strange. Alright, stranger, I will take this bill off you. For now,
yes.
in case I
Bless
ever
you.
visit this place.
Have you by any chance seen some strange animals around?
Animals? What do you mean?
Sort of fluffy and is sort of dog-like, I imagine.
Dog-like? Do
Yeah.
you mean dog-like? Are they like
Uh,
dog or are they not?
Like a dog. Yes, that's dog-like. Yeah, like a dog.
No, the closest I have seen is some squirrels.
Oh, I like squirrels.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. Yeah. Well, anyway, I thank you for the dry ice, and it's fine. Keep the change, don't worry.
Does
But,
this change? What does it change into? And he still keeps flicking around in his hands, not sure if
goods and services.
it changes into goods and services.
If you, in exchange with the right people, I suppose. But yes,
Oh, I see. Is this
Probably best
some
not to worry about it.
Illuminati thing?
no, it's currency.
He's a magician. It's a magic money.
Oh,
Don't you worry about it. It's Mr. Wizzo.
see.
Yes, I kind of see. Yes, I am. Mr. Wizard's the name, and I kind of raise my chin, and my bow tie starts spinning.
What magic is this?
Yes, well,
Is it
tricks
tightening
of,
or loosening?
well, yes, tricks of the trade, isn't it? Yeah.
He was listening to the bard yesterday, so it might be tightening.
see, I see.
Yes, well, anyway, it stopped spinning and I kind of lower my head again. Anyway, well, keep an eye out for weird dogs, I suppose. Well, that's good life advice, I guess.
Well, it is good life advice, yes. I mean, who wants to be crept up upon by a dog?
Exactly, and before I turn away, I said, oh, yes, well, and also, I keep forgetting to give these out, but if you're ever in the need of a entertainer for a birthday party or something, don't hesitate to think of me, and I hand over a...
Birthday party?
Yes. I hand over a, again, slightly battered looking kind of business card that says, Mr. Wizzo, Magician Extraordinaire. Children's birthday party is a specialty, and there's a phone number there, but it's a landline.
A landline?
Oh no, I'm just describing the card. I'm not saying landline out loud.
He just looks at you and says, what is this group of numbers here?
Oh, that's how you get hold of me. See, yes.
Do I have to draw your name in a circle?
Well, that might work. Never tried it. Yes, you generally just pick up the receiver and tap them in.
Do you mean a raven?
Well, again, that might get there. My mum's a little scared of birds, though, so, yes, she normally takes the messages for me. Don't want to disappoint her, though.
I see.
I'm glad someone sees.
Alright, so are you gonna do anything else while you're here? Gonna look at either of the other two places, or are you just gonna head off?
What's the other two places?
The flower stall that's got basically no one really there but some dead flowers, and the stables.
I would like to see some horses. Could we go to the stables a quickie?
You go and look at the stables. The stables seem to be locked, closed with a padlock. And as you sort of go in there, you're going, he's still not come here yet. If you do see him, tell him he's late.
Yes, will do.
Well, I guess no horses today then.
Alright.
Unless we get lucky and find the boy.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
your next choice is the town hall, the inn, the market square, and the forest.
Well, we've been in the market square. I feel like things are drawing us towards the forest.
It does seem that way, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Right, so you're heading towards the forest.
Yes. Oh, actually, I just had a thought before we leave the square. Could I take a look at the statues real quick? Specifically, expecting the point where I was sure that we saw a third one previously. Does it look like there was a statue there? I mean, what's the dealio?
It's not been raining or anything, so there's no obvious signs that there was a third statue.
No.
Two that are there are solid stone. They're heavy as anything. There's no way they could have been moved. And the third location where you thought you saw one, you can tell where you thought it was, but there's no sign that anything had been there.
Okay, alright. Very strange. Oh, that voice has changed again. Oh, very strange.
I think maybe they're starting to shapeshift a little.
That's very disturbing.
So, forest?
Yes.
Alright. So as you make your way from the town square to the forest, you see a dwarf. His hair looks like it was dark, but it's now kind of peppered and it's getting like kind of very grey in places. As you're walking past, he stops and he goes, "Hi, are you new in the village?"
Yes.
Yeah.
We're actually traveling through, we're trying to find something.
Ah, right. You haven't been sent about that caravan, have you?
We have, in fact, yes.
All right. Do you know anything about it I need to be worried about? I brought the man to Maud, but recently I've had Ethel to really ask for the books on it, and I let her have them, and Maud's not chewing my ear off about it, so do you know anything about it?
You brought the man to Maud. I mean, are you,
Are you
Daddy.
father?
I am Daddy, aye. Daddy the goat-herder.
Good. Well, that saves us looking for you. We were wondering if you could sort of give us a bit more information about sort of where you found him and what sort of situation was like.
Well, I was out tending to my goats as usual, and then there was this crashing sound, and then a loud scream, and then there was this loud smash, and the sound like breaking bones. And I looked over, and there was this massive pile of wood, firewood, just lying around, and there was these two badly crumpled horses that were just you just had to put them out of their misery. They were just broken. And there was this man, and he was just lying in the grass, like he was like bedded in the grass itself. And we picked him up, took him to Maud, and Maud said that she could just about get him back, but it's miraculous he managed to survive the fall.
Well, yes, quite.
Apart from that, there's a pile of wood. What do you want to know?
Have you seen any dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah.
Well, apart from the dogs, I have myself, and the dogs, that are around the town. What kind of dogs you meaning?
Sort of a dog that looks like the statues on the fountain.
Oh, you mean Antonio and Caesar? Aye, we've got mastiffs like that. Aye, I use them for my goats.
Oh,
Did you see
I like
any
dogs.
at the crash that night or day? Whenever that was, the crash itself.
Well, the crash itself, I got my dogs to sort of take the goats away. Well, I had a look at it myself. There wasn't anything else there. It was just, these two broken horses and this poor man.
No sign of any cages or anything.
Well, there was some bars, I guess, lying around, but it would have to be for a smallish cage, but there was no animal or anything, so I thought it was just something to do with a safe or maybe a secure for windows.
Yeah. How long ago was this, by the way?
Oh, must have been about a week and a bit. Took a couple of days to get him conscious again so we could find out where he was going and send word.
Yes. I sort of turned to my companion and say, that seems quite a short amount of time for these things. If they were small enough to be in puppy-sized cages to suddenly be big enough to, turn into anything.
Hit maturity, as it were.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a small rabbit could actually bite you in the throat. Vicious little bastards, if you antagonize them.
Oh, you've just got to know how to deal with them. Mr. Hopkins and I get on famously.
Oh yeah, well, but you give him food and stuff. Maybe this guy wasn't giving them food, so they were hungry.
Oh, that'll do it, yes.
That would make a lot of sense, really.
Mr. Daddy, have you seen any children around? A Luther and an Emily something, I think, gone missing.
Oh, the stable boy. I've not seen him for a few days, but just getting by, I imagine. I know his mother's quite elderly now.
Oh,
As for Emmeline, she's about the same. She's about the same age as most of the villagers, really. She's old enough to look after herself, I'd imagine. But what about her?
Well, she seems to be gone astray, but someone told us that
said.
she picks flowers in the forest every morning.
Oh, I
So,
usually see her out and about, picking up these wee random purpley flower things that she seems to like. Apparently they sell quite well in her stall.
Oh, but have you seen her recently?
Not for about easily 4 days.
Oh,
That would explain the dying flowers.
yeah, not like your flowers, Mr. Wizzo.
Oh no, these will last for, quite a while.
Yeah, magical flowers, kind of like that.
Yes.
Well, you said she's missing.
Well, that's
Who
what
told you she's
the
missing?
blacksmith told us, yes.
Yeah, the blacksmith.
Oh, Gerard. Right. Maybe we'll have to word with him on the way by. I need to go speak to Harris. Heard some rumours around the town we need to address. If we've had people going missing, then maybe I need to go a bit faster.
Oh, did you say Harris?
Aye, Harris. He's the elder. Well, one of the elders. I'm apparently the other one, but I prefer not to be considered so old.
Okay, well, I think we're going to look around out here a little bit, and we may try to meet up with you again later.
The crash site's just up there. And he points with a very stubby finger. It's just up there. Jack's looking after my goats at the moment, but if you need anything, just ask him. He'll know what you're on about.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, yes. Well, on to the crash site then.
Yeah, let's take a look at the crash site, and I'm starting to wonder if we need to start trying to tell this town what's going on here. But let's see what we can find first.
Alright. So you walk into the forest itself, you see a youngish looking dwarf leaning against the fence looking at all these goats. And at the top of the hill, at the base of this massive cliff face, you see this huge pile of splintered wood. It's like someone has come in and begun to start piling it into sections, but most of it's still in this huge lump in the middle.
Must have been one heck of a crash.
Yeah.
Surprised that man survived it.
Maybe he landed on something soft.
Yes. Well, so you think he was thrown clear and... Yes.
Well, maybe landed on the horses or something. Perhaps. I'm not really bright enough to figure those out. I know that if I land on something soft, it doesn't hurt as much. So, yeah.
Might be interesting to see if there's any spots soft enough within a reasonable distance of the pile.
Yes.
Yeah. See if there's any nice tracks in the grass.
That would be delightful.
I like tracks.
So, yes, I guess we investigate looking for that.
Mm-hmm. So you're going up to this wreck, or are you going to speak to the dwarf on the way by? What are you going to do?
Well, do we have anything to ask the dwarf, really?
Not necessarily. Not unless we mess up on the way past. Maybe just a friendly nod or something.
Yes, we'll give him the old wink and nod and keep walking, I suppose. Maybe not a wink.
So as you walk by, you see this dwarf. He obviously looks like he's had a couple of blows to the head. Like one of his eyes is substantially more open than the other one. He sort of grins as you walk past, and the grin is a sort of very mindless grin. But like just very simple, very happy, just like, hi.
Sir is actually going to go up to Jack and just... Hello there, Jack.
Hello.
Have you seen any other dogs recently than the usual ones?
I like dogs.
I like dogs too, but have you seen any that you normally would not see around?
No.
No.
I like birds too.
Yeah, same here. Well, you just have a nice day then, Jack, and we'll be on our merry way.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you have anything to say there, sir?
No, he hasn't seen any dogs.
What about anything else?
No, he likes birds as well. So yeah, he's a kind spirit, this fella, but yeah.
Well, to the wreck then, I suppose.
Alright. So you walk up to the wreck and you find that it looks like it was the same size caravan as like Grunning's, for example, the one in the market square. And it looks like it's completely splintered into a million pieces when it hit the ground. As you look through the effectively rubble, but mostly it's wood, of what's there, you see there is a definite set of bookshelves. It looks like they had something on them, but it's all been removed. And you see what's obviously some cage bars. It looks like it would contain maybe a medium to large sized dog. Maybe 2 dogs. It's quite a large cage.
Yes.
Only one cage room,
Well, they were being kept in here together then, is that what we're thinking?
I imagine.
Interesting.
So, whatever was on these shelves and things has been taken as well.
I
Yeah.
believe Daddy said something about books, so I guess they cleaned up, or that was at least part of the beginning of the cleanup process.
Yes.
Be interesting. Actually, I don't know that it'll make any difference what kind of books there are.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably not too relevant to finding these dogs.
No, I think at this point our task is to track an untrackable beast. But anyway.
Yes.
It seems kind of hard when the beast is a dog, and there's a lot of dogs around. So,
Well, it might not just be a dog, but if we think it can turn into anything, it might be maybe it's one of those goats over there.
oh, should we go slaughter all the goats then?
I'm not saying that. No,
Let's hold off on that plan for now. We'll keep that plan in our back pocket, as it were.
Okay. Well, you're the smarty pants guys.
So that's rule number 1 of magicianship. They don't tell you in the... well, there's not really a magician school. Rule number 1, unofficial. Mr. Wizard is rule number 1. If in doubt, don't immediately jump to slaughtering the nearest group of small waist-height things around. Doesn't tend to go well in my position.
Well, goats aren't waist height. Not for me though, but
Well, I guess for you, it
big.
would be... Well, what's waist-height on you?
rabbits, I guess. Like Mr. Hopkins.
Yeah, well, don't kill Mr. Hopkins either.
Well, I won't. He looks nice and cozy in your hat.
Yes, he's pretty chill.
Well, I mean, Mr. Tor over here, he went to a proper wizard school, I think. So there is wizard schools, Mr. Wizzo.
That's not what I said. I said that there's no magician school.
Oh, is not a magician and a wizard the same thing then?
Not always.
Oh.
After watching Mr. Wizzo work for a couple of days, I'd say it's a very different thing. But anyway.
The main difference is in the amount of self-promotion you have to do, I suppose, to get work.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine.
We'll go with that for now. Yeah.
Sir just goes over just pondering this new state of facts.
Facts are very fluid these days, unfortunately. But anyway.
Is there anything else we can see on this crash site that is interesting to us?
Yeah, any tracks or anything leading away? Or I suppose there's been a lot of people kind of stomping around here, tidying up and stuff. But
There's 2 definite dents in the ground. It looks like it must be where the horses both fell. But again, it looks like it's been mostly cleaned up, though there is a slight, very old, dried blood in the earth around them.
So no dent from the the
There's a
human.
very, very slight dent where the man seems to have landed, but you notice that the grass is relatively soft. It's softer where he landed than where the horses landed.
Look up and see how high the fall was.
It was a good 20-meter fall.
Okay.
And no sign of anything smaller having fallen.
No sign of anything smaller landing, although there's a couple of random, it's like there's several pieces have landed around and they've been cleared up from there, but there's not really much you can find here.
Right.
Can we go up to the place where they fell from?
You spend about an hour or two walking around the long way to where the horse must have came off the road. There's usually something to stop them, just coming off the road at that point, but it looks like they just crashed straight through it, whatever it was.
So we really don't have any clue as to what caused the crash.
You also notice one or two spots of dried blood in the earth.
I think he said something attacked him in the neck from behind.
Oh yes, he had those awful wounds, didn't he?
Yes. So that's why he went off the road. And Sir just trails off because this is sort of the cooking point for his brain.
Right, and there's not actually any wreckage up there.
Nope.
So here's my working theory. He was trundling along on the cart on this charming road here. I don't quite know the pronunciation, the Atarakchin. The dog things broke loose, bit him on the neck, leaving this blood here, and his carriage careened off the cliff, leaving 2 horse-shaped dents in the ground below. And him, a gibbering wreck of a man. At a later date, one of the dogs transformed into a statue dog, possibly a goat.
And now they're possibly starting to feed on the village folk.
Well, we need to protect the village people.
So that's why I was talking about we probably need to tell them what we know.
Yes. I was just formulating my thoughts here.
Yeah, so that we can build a plan. Honestly, it's beginning to sound like there's going to have to be some sort of bait situation going on.
Yes. We need some sort of way to detect the difference between the creatures and something real. If they're, we don't know if they turn into people or is it anything. There's presumably something living. Just
right. And at
weird
this point,
thing to say. But
and at this point, I think the only distinction we have is that they might try to eat us.
that's not
So if
ideal,
anything-
really, is it?
If anything tries to eat us, we should probably kill it. Which sounds really vague to me as a plan, unfortunately. I would love to have had something more specific. But
It's a start. It's probably better than slaughtering all those goats down there.
yeah.
But I can work with that. Killing stuff that wants to eat me. Seems simple enough, yeah.
Yes. So, what's our next move then?
So it seems to me like Town Hall is probably the next stop. We need to talk
All
to
right.
people in charge.
Yes.
Alright, as it gets into early evening, your choices are the town hall, the inn, the market square.
Town Hall, please.
Town Hall, I believe, yes.
Oh, okay. So you make your way back through the town. You notice that there's a small gathering at the town square, but it looks like everyone's sort of discussing things. And as you get to town hall itself, you hear the sound of an argument inside.
Well, what does the argument appear to be about?
You can just hear that it's 2 female voices and they're both quite raised.
Right.
I'm curious. I would like to hear more.
You listen to the side of the door and you hear a voice going, "You can't teach demonology to children." Oh, but the children don't know it's demonology, they just know it's books. I mean, books are really good for children. Children understand them. They learn these fairy stories. It'd be really good. You don't teach demonology to children. Oh, but the children, again, they don't know. They're too young to understand this demonology. I mean, look at this one. This demon's got a lovely smile. I mean, the children can colour in this page with all the dye we got. It'll be wonderful. I am going to take these books away. No, Maud, put them down. Look, the children love them. The children love these books. We can't take them away. I mean, we don't have any other books for them to learn from. Riddled with demons. Oh, but the children don't know about demons. I mean, what kind of silliness is that? I mean, the demons aren't real. Demons are real, and I'm not letting you keep these books. Oh, Maud, you're just being silly. You're just being silly. Just leave the books with me. I mean, Harris has said they're fine. We're just going to, look at this. Look at the smiley demon. He's so happy. We can call him George. What do you want to do?
I'm not going to intervene. I want to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Sir is going to
Keep going.
brashly walk in the door.
I actually was planning on walking in too.
Yeah.
You walk in
Fair enough.
and you see Maud, who you met earlier, and she's got like a handful of like 4 or 5 books in her arms, and you see a small dwarf with like very thick glasses and blonde pigtails going, No, the children need these books, Maud.
Excuse me, ladies.
Maud turns around to you and goes, What?
We well, I think my smart friends and I are going to probably have to look in those books of yours to find out some stuff about, the things that's been happening around here.
You see, Maud, people have come to learn. They've come to our town hall to learn. They have not come to learn. If anything, they've come to summon more demons. I suggest you give me those books, and I take them away, put them under lock and key, and none of you get to read them ever again.
Now listen here, lady. I can't read, so I won't be summoning any demons.
You see, Maud, he can't read. It's wonderful. He doesn't take any risk in the books. He just wants to colour them in, don't you?
Well, not as such, maybe, but those are really important books because there's some strange things happening about the area right now, and it's for your own safety. Yes, so we're not gonna to take the books from you, but we need to see what's in the books, at least my friends here, Mr. Wizzo and Tor. Then when we have looked at them, you can do whatever you want with them, but it's for your sake.
You want to look through these books?
It's yes.
Well, we think the books might be the property of the man who hired us, possibly.
I see. So you would take them away from here if they're what you're looking for?
Well, I believe so, yes.
No, we just want to look at them, to read them. We don't want to take them anywhere.
I will let you read them because I do not trust them in the hands of this.
Yep.
At this point,
that works.
The other one goes, I think you're all being really mean.
How so?
I mean, the children need books to learn from. And look at them. I mean, look at this little girl there. She's loving that book, and she doesn't know anything about it apart from Smiley George.
In all
Well,
fairness,
she does look pretty happy, yes.
In all fairness, Maud is right. Demons are real.
They're
Well,
not
yeah,
real.
see,
They're like fairy
listen to Tor.
stories.
I don't know that for sure until I see the books themselves, but they really could
I
be
think
dangerous.
you're all overreacting. I really do.
No.
Well, I've come around on this as well. I mean, demons and magic isn't real. I mean,
Well,
I think
Mr.
reading is the true magic.
Mr. Wizzo, can't you just show this nice lady here, Mr. Hopkins, and see if maybe she can learn something about Mr. Hopkins that she can take to class, that the kids can learn something from.
Well, yes, okay. Behold, and I brandish my hat and go through the whole kind of waving my hand over it and everything, and then go, behold, the magic of Mr. Hopkins, and pull out Mr. Hopkins, who is wearing a small version of the hat.
Okay. So you pull this rabbit out of the hat. Maud immediately goes, oh, for God's sake. And the other girl starts clapping inanely, going, oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. How many can you produce?
Just the one.
Oh, is it one for now and then maybe one later?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Then all the children can have one. Oh, that's a wonderful
No,
idea. That's
hang on,
awesome.
wait. No, the one later may or may not also be the same one. But a magician never reveals his secrets.
At this point, Maud's standing with one hand completely face-palming herself. Just like, for God's sake. While the other one is still bouncing up and down, still clapping, say, the children will love it. Gather round, children. He's produced a rabbit. He's going to produce another one. Come on.
This would be a good point for me to pull Maud aside just to get her away from this.
Yeah, I'm going with Tor as well.
So all these children gathering around, the stress levels are rising for Mr. Wizzo.
Sir is just whispering to Mr. Wizzo before he leaves, just saying, don't let them get to the hammers.
The hammers? Oh, yeah, no, you don't need to tell me twice. I don't know if you two want to have your conversation first, and then I'll just interject with weird stuff I'm doing in the background. But...
I'm game.
Alright, so Tor and MacMac are off to one side with Maud. What do you want to say to her?
Okay, so here's the deal, Maud. We were sent here by the person who owned a specific item on the caravan that crashed. That item was a cage, which included or contained a breeding pair of Athracadians.
What?
Are you familiar? You're familiar that this is? Yeah.
What do you mean there's a pair of Athacadians here?
That is our understanding of the situation. And we have actually already, with our own eyes, seen potential evidence that they have reached a state at which they can change shape.
Wait,
one
did
of the
you
dogs
say
on
breeding
the...
pair?
I did say breeding pair.
Oh god, they're gonna destroy the countryside.
Yes.
Right, well, the least of the worries at the moment is these children reading these demon books, I suppose. Where did you see this evidence?
When we entered town last evening, there were 3 dogs on top of the fountain. All 3 of us will swear to this.
And today it was only 2.
Yes, there are only 2, so that means maybe they're near the fountain.
Also concerning that just from what little we have learned in the last day, 2 people have disappeared already.
Well, if 2 people have disappeared...
Yeah, Luther and Emmeline.
So they were on the cart that crashed, which means it's been... Oh god, that means that their children are Jew. That is really not good. She looks notably worried.
We are here to do what we can to help the situation.
Yeah, I can bash stuff.
At this point, we just have to figure out what to bash.
Oh yeah. Not goats. Maybe.
Right. Not random goats.
How much do you know about Athacadians?
To be honest, we don't know a whole lot more than I've just told you. Other than that there were a breeding pair, and we were actually sent to retrieve them in the hopes that, that was possible.
Yeah, and they can shapeshift. We know that as well.
We were hoping they were young enough that they wouldn't be able to, but I think
they are highly magical creatures. They breed for short periods, but then have a large clutch of eggs. If the eggs hatch, the creatures that would bring would, well, let's just say that they would remove this village very quickly.
And a good bit of the countryside forthwith, but...
The only advantage, I suppose, is we're so isolated from everything else.
Yeah.
But I suppose the goats that Daddy has would last quite a while for a food supply.
But what do they look like when they hatch?
They look like rabbits, only they have substantially larger, more fluffy ears.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So...
also, you say they lay eggs.
Yes. They're very strange creatures of magic. Their eggs are strange. I mean, if you engulf them in fire, they seem to hatch faster.
Well, let's not do that then.
They can shapeshift when they're young, right? Sir's brain is really working hard time now.
Yeah, that was what Kelvin said.
They can shapeshift as long as they see an item. They can shapeshift into it. It's just they can't move as the item. They have to go back to their original form to move.
Oh.
Interesting.
If it's a stationary object, then they can remain as it for hours, days, weeks, whatever they need. But as soon as they move, they have to return to their original form to move.
So, kill all fluffy bunny rabbits that move. Alright.
Well, I suppose if you're going to do that, yes, but I worry your friend over there with his small, fluffy creature is going to be a bit upset.
In the background, I am juggling a set of gold rings that all of a sudden are linked together, and it's pretty spectacular.
Well, I won't kill the rabbit in the hat. I mean, it's in the hat, so it's easy.
The eggs that they lay, how large? What size are they?
They're about the size of... She sort of gestures in front of her. It's about maybe about the same size as an ostrich egg.
A large clutch of these at a time, you say?
Yes, usually between around 30 to 50.
All in the same place?
Yes, they like to lay them all together. They're very strange creatures in their breeding habits, but that's why they're only used mostly for magic. They're mostly used by, well, how can I put it lightly other than say, crazed magicians to feed people too. They're like crocodiles, but they don't require the water.
It shouldn't be hard to find then.
Assuming that they've laid eggs, I wonder if we can just find a clutch of eggs and then slaughter any bunnies within a 50-foot radius of that.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Hopkins obviously is exempt, but...
Yeah, I don't like slaughtering bunnies. I like bunnies. But if they're not really bunnies...
They're not actual bunnies, right?
Yeah.
They're just dressed up as bunnies.
Yeah, fake bunnies.
Yes, I'm going to go and mention this to Harris. Him and Daddy are in the town square. After the recent deaths, they think something's afoot and they're going to tell people to only go places in pairs, but if there's about to be a clutch of eggs hatch, I think pairs would just feed them faster.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we come with you.
Maybe we should see these books first, and we'll come join you later.
Alright, what's Mr. Wizard doing in the background?
I was going to say, in the background, I've asked one of the children if they want to help me with a trick, and I've handed them a magic wand, and every time they try and do something, the wand goes all floppy, and it's amusing.
Right, okay.
The children are loving it. I'm very good at my job.
I thought you were afraid of children.
Oh, yeah. But hey, find me a lion tamer who's not also afraid of lions. You gotta respect the...
Lions are almost as dangerous as children, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is the teacher enjoying it as well?
I mean, that's not up to me.
She's clapping excitedly.
Apparently
yeah,
more
she
so
is.
than the children.
Yep. So as you finish your conversation with Maud, she seems to sort of bundle up the last of the books that were lying around while the children were all distracted.
I'll help her.
Right. I'm going to drop these quickly at my hut, and then I will meet you in the town square.
I thought we was going to look through the books here first
Let's.
to get any clues.
We can do that after. We should talk to the people first. We should warn the people before we start.
Okay, you're the smarty pants guy, so...
What's Mr. Wizzle got for his finale?
Sparks flying out of both my sleeves, and I've surreptitiously set the dry ice off behind me as well, so there's a lot of smoke and everything. And yeah,
Let's see.
I don't know, but I'm hearing Mr. Wizzo, and all I think of is like whipped cream on can. So I don't know why, but
So everyone's excited. There's a lot of smoke, although even though there's not a lot of smoke, they seem to understand it's a trick and don't start screaming fire. It's a plus. So
oh yeah,
are
it's
you-
part of the show.
So are you going to head to the town square now?
is there anything else of interest here in the town hall before we...
Do me an awareness check, I'll tell you if you see anything else. The only other thing you notice is there's quite a large, like, leather costume with a large metal head that looks like a giant rat that's abjectly terrifying. And as you look at that and go, what the fuck is that? You hear Maud go, that's the costume they make Jack wear every year.
Hmm,
It's a lot better for him now it's got a helmet. It didn't have a helmet the first year. I'm surprised how the boy's still alive after that many concussions.
would you be much mad if I sort of borrowed the costume for a while? Might come in handy, sort of.
I suppose there'd be no harm in it.
All right, thank you very much.
So you now have a leather fake rat costume.
That looks like you've let Jack off the hook.
Having Jack play bait for a bunch of kids with fake hammers is probably different than what we were going to end up having in mind. But yeah,
Well, I was thinking that maybe if we're gonna trick those magical creatures, maybe they would enjoy feasting on a big rat. So, we'll see. Maybe not. Or,
So you're advocating baiting on Whacking Day.
well, maybe, yeah. Or if we could sort of trick one of the beasts into the costume and then all the kids could just whack it on the head.
that would be awesome.
My mind's been working a bit better lately than it usually does. It might be all this fresh mountain air. I don't know why, but we'll see. But just in case.
It's a plan, at least. So, who wants to catch me up?
I think that talk could give you the smarty pants talk.
Yes, give me the short version.
We told Maud what we think is going on, and she agrees and is going to help us approach the town elders with it.
Ah, good. Yes,
So we're heading to the marketplace.
sounds good. Lead the way. Got to reload my smoke dispensers anyway.
Alright. As you head towards town square, you see a very oldish dwarf with like long grey beard who sort of hobbles towards you, and he's hobbling towards the town hall. As you pass, he goes, "Oh, wonderful visitors. Are you enjoying your stay in Luchgobar?
Yes, it's very
yes.
charming.
Very nice
Yes.
town.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, if you want to have another look around, just wonderful. I'm glad to have you. Are you here for Whacking Day?
No, not really.
Specifically, it was just fortuitous circumstance that we showed up for it.
You should bring your children. It's a wonderful thing. I mean, it gets all the adrenaline out, and they get to run around and whack the evil rat.
Oh, yes. Well, my name's Sir von Mac. Who are you, sir?
Oh, I'm Harris.
Oh, hello, Harris. We were just actually going down to the marketplace or town square to meet up with you and Maud. And I think...
Daddy's still down there. He's answering questions.
Oh, yes. I think that this perhaps might include you to be there as well. It's
I'm
quite
sure
important.
Daddy can handle it. I don't think he needs to bother such an old man as myself.
Well, it's about your village, Harris, sir. It might be in a tad bit of a danger, so to speak.
Oh, nonsense. I mean, after we drove those rats out before, there's no threat to a beautiful Luchgobar. I'm sure if there is, Daddy will be on top of it.
Well, maybe you should speak to my friends here, Tor and Mr. Wizzo. They are much more well-spoken than I am, so,
Maud seemed very insistent on speaking with you. And then together.
Maud gets a little bit of a bee in her bonnet every so often, but I'm sure she's got the best intentions in mind. But as I said, I'm sure Daddy can deal with it.
This is in reference to the disappearances lately.
Oh yeah, well Daddy was telling me there's a couple of disappearances and, a young girl and boy disappear. I mean, I was young once and well, young several times really, but I mean, I once disappeared with a young girl, and the times I had was wonderful. When I came back, I was thoroughly beaten by my father.
Okay,
took
thanks
a bit
for
of
your
a turn
time.
at the end there, yes.
Oh, it was a beating of love. I mean, for that little warm feeling you get from a proper beating,
Yes. Anyway,
Can't say I agree with that so much.
thank you for your time. We're just going to go meet Maud and Daddy now. Thank
Oh,
you.
wonderful. Well,
Good evening.
enjoy your time in beautiful Luchgobar. And he sort of hobbles his way off.
Thank you. Yeah, that guy's not going to be very helpful. But okay, that's fine. We found the people who are actually in charge. At least I think we have.
So as you arrive in town square, you see there's a sort of plinth set up and Daddy is there and he's answering questions from a lot of panicked-looking villagers. And him going, right, everyone just stay calm, We've dealt with a problem before, we'll deal with it again now, there's nothing to worry about, but you need to go places in pairs. Because you go places in pairs, there's less likely to attack you. Whatever it is, whether it's a bear, whether it's a person, whatever it is, go places in pairs.
Good advice, yes.
More fond of apples, actually. So AJ, if I'm gonna laugh at your bad jokes, you're gonna have to laugh at mine.
That was an on purpose not laughing at that one.
You are not laughing in character.
You can do better. And me reinforcing bad behavior is not going to help you do better. Okay. I'm just thinking what we can do here.
Sorry's just gonna go up to Daddy quickly. Excuse me, Daddy. Was
you at the back, the dwarf.
yeah, was Harris here a moment ago?
Oh, Harris was here. He's just gone back to the town hall. I mean, he's feeling his age a little bit, but the rest of us all understand that, and we can, get everything sorted here.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Yes, but was he going in a pair though, or was he on his own?
That is a good point. God damn it, Harris! We only had the roll 2 minutes, and you've broken it.
Some people.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the walking stick is probably as old as he is, so it's sort of a pair.
Well,
Sorry's just gonna whisper to the other two companions. It's like, oh, just checking though. So that actually was Harris and not some, imposter.
well, we have no way of knowing.
Well, no, but at least it's something.
Well, what we need is, I said earlier, some way to figure out if something is not itself.
I think we need to set a trap of some kind, or we need to find the eggs. Nothing like a magical omelette in the morning.
Did we have any clue as to where they were likely to lay the eggs, or?
No,
Yeah,
just that they lay all the eggs in the same spot, but it's about 50.
No kind of preferred environment, or?
No, maybe we should ask Maud about. She seemed to know a lot about these creatures, whatever they're called.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We can narrow down the places, then, yes.
A couple of minutes later, Maud appears, and she walks up and whispers something to Daddy, and he turns to everyone and goes, Right, well, I've just been informed by Maud that we need to finally execute the drill number 4 that we planned. In the background, you hear someone say, Number 4? Yes, number 4, the one where the rats might come back that Harris insisted upon. Now, there might be some small bitey creatures soon, so can everyone please be prepared? Go places in pairs and always carry yourself a wee knife and a stick or something. Everyone starts grumbling in the crowd. Ah, come on, you all knew this day might come. Come on, less of the grumbling.
I like the idea that they have a plan.
Yes, it certainly simplifies things. So if Maud's there, then we should ask her if she knows so much about them. Then does she have a clue as to where they might lay the eggs?
Yeah, we can ask her if you want. So you want to go up and ask her?
Yes, I think so.
Alright, so you go up and you speak to Maud. Question sort of perplexes her a little bit. Then she goes, I don't know where they would lay eggs. I mean, it must be somewhere around the forest area, but maybe they would do it closer to here to have a better food supply for the young.
Yes.
We can start searching toward that direction in the hopes that we'll find it quicker rather than slower. But yeah, any hint as to what we're looking for would be helpful.
I don't know where best to start. I suppose I should... I'll have a look around these stalls. And she starts sort of wandering around the blacksmith and the other two stalls, just looking to see if there's anything she could find. At this point, you hear a voice go, So, what people have been eating then? And Daddy goes, Well, we don't know what anyone's been eating. I mean, Harris believes they've just eloped together, but I don't really see why a middle-aged dwarf would elope with a young boy.
Sir is going to go up to Maud again and ask her if she knows where Luther normally hung out, sort of.
He didn't really hang out anywhere. He sort of worked at the stables and then went home and then came back again. And most of his time looking after his elderly mother.
So, where his elderly mother stayed then?
Well, she lives out the other side of the forest in a small cottage.
Oh yes, we were told that earlier. But here's the thing then, so both the people who were missing sort of worked around here in the square, and they both spent time in the forest. So that doesn't really narrow it down.
Well,
Someone should check on the mother.
Yes.
Yeah, we should probably speak with the mother, and everything is in the forest. It seems to me, at least, both people in the forest disappeared. So maybe we should talk to Daddy to have people escorting people in the forest, if there's anyone there.
Or possibly avoiding the forest for the time being.
Oh, yeah, that as well.
Yes, maybe make sure everybody's kept in one place so we don't lose anyone else.
Alright. Are you wanting to ask any more questions?
I'm not too sure what to ask, to be honest.
Right. I think we've gotten all we're going to get with the questions that we have.
Right. At this point, you hear a very excited voice going, The hatching! The hatching! What's that, Jack? Me eggs, the hatching!
Run.
What eggs, Jack? The eggs have been watching the birds, they're hatching! And
Yes.
as people look on, you hear the sound of several eggs cracking, and under the fountain, these tiny little, like, furry creatures the size of Mr. Hopkins start crawling their way out from under the fountain. They then begin to start leaping on people and start basically savaging them in the neck. Everything begins to go into chaos. And whether you stay and fight or whether you run off, it's sadly irrelevant at this stage because you have not saved the world.
Well, we're not going out without a fight, damn it.
So, you might not have saved the world, but folk can come find you, whatever it is you do. So, please tell us what you do, where you can be found, and put all your links and stuff here, and plug yourself to high hell. So, we'll start at the top with Mike.
All right. As we stated at the beginning, I am one of the co-hosts of the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. You can find us anywhere you can find podcasts or at www.thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. We are on Twitter at Fellowship Geeks. I am on Twitter at Mikey Geek. We have a Facebook page. We have a Discord. There's a link on our website to hit the Discord. Come hang out with us.
Cool. So, what is it you do?
We kind of start off talking about comics and devolve from there. We talk about TVs, movies, games, all kinds of stuff, but mostly geeky stuff. We're just a discussion thing.
Anything launching in October you want to plug at this point?
Well, our hashtag All the Horror episode will drop on the 7th. We have guests from 3 different podcasts, and we're talking about the 1972 film Horror Express.
Awesome. Well, definitely go check that out. Next, we have AJ.
Yeah, again, as I said at the start, I'm the host of Pretending with Dice. We are, much like Penance, an actual play RPG podcast. Again, we're everywhere you find podcasts, but on Twitter, Facebook, and now Instagram at Pretend with Dice. So yeah, check us out there. If this is going up in October, which I'm 100% sure it is, by the time it goes up, we should be a couple of episodes into our new longer form D&D storyline at the Halls of Zenden. So yeah, check it out.
I get to ask a question I always ask you whenever you're on a podcast. Did you?
Yeah, I do write my own music and that for it. Thanks for asking. Yeah, every episode has music written by me, and it's got sound effects and cool things and stuff. And yes,
Cool.
All right. And finally, we have Lenida.
And yes, yeah, the only thing I really do is make the music for these podcasts. So if you feel like you need some finely tailored music for your podcast, yeah, get in touch with Penance and they can link you further to me and we can see what we want to do. If you enjoy the music, hopefully you didn't hear it, you just felt it.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you to my guests tonight, and I hope you enjoyed. And everyone else, good night. You wanted to add a good night yourselves, or should I just...
oh yeah. Cheers. See you later.
Good night, guys.
Thanks, everybody.